Welcome to the Voice of the People. My name is Stephen Smith, and I'm running for United States Congress in District 31 against Xavier Becerra. Today I'm going out and interviewing various people who live in and work in our community. To begin with, we're going to Galcos Old World Grocery and speaking to John Nese. He is the king of pop.
Well, Mr. Nese, how long have you been working at this store?
Since the day we opened.
How long ago was that?
Well, we opened here in 1955. We've been in Los Angeles since 1897. And my father used to take me into the store to work when I was like 5 years old when we were downtown.
So you've been in, were you always in the beverage business?
No. We started as an Italian grocery store, one of the first ones in Los Angeles. And about 10, 11 years ago, we transitioned to soda pop. There were no more Italians here. Those that were here didn't cook anymore, so we were looking for something to do. And about the same time, the chain stores bought the distribution channels for the little markets and closed them down. It was cheaper for me to buy one can off the shelf at Ralph's than it was to get a case delivered to here. And so that posed quite a problem. And when you're going broke, it's really easy to make decisions.
Well, how'd you come up with the idea let's have a pop shop?
Well, pop stopped. There were stops before there were shops. We're so pop stopped.
Really?
Yeah. And, I was thinking about it, and the microbrews had already run their course, but you had to be 21 to buy a beer. And I was thinking about it, and I said, well, we could do quite a bit of some kind of thing like that with sodas. And I started thinking about it, and I said, and you don't have to be 21. If you can reach the counter and you have the nickel, you can buy it. The internet has given us a very big footprint. I mean, a lot of communication. The internet is very, very handled. But if somebody wants it, they want it. I mean, that was the deal. I didn't want to be on the internet. I told my daughter, I said, I don't want to ship on the internet. It costs too much money. It takes all the fun out of it. And I don't want to do that. And she just looked at me, and she says, and this fellow happened to call at about the same time. He was from Tennessee. At the time, he was looking for Great Bet. And I didn't, and I said, yeah, I have it, but we're not on the internet. We don't ship. But I want to buy some. And I said, no, I'm sorry. And then he said, well, I'm going to make a road trip out to the Grand Canyon. I think I'll take a swing by and see you.
Wow.
How do you like that?
And my daughter just turned to me and she says, now, Dad, you're going to tell people how to spend their money? Nope, but you have to take care of it. Okay.
Oh, when was your first interview on the Food Network?
I don't know. I don't remember. The guy walked through the door and he just stopped and he looked and he says, oh my goodness, we should have come here first. They filmed until 8 or 9 that night. They got so much film they actually wound up making 3.5-hour segments on it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they made the clips, the short clips. Then they made old-time sodas, crazy sodas, and Moxie today. All the interior shots for Moxie were done here.
And you're out of Moxie today, I'm so
Yeah, we're out of Moxie, but we found...
Well, for crying out loud.
Well, we found a bottler. We've been bottling since 1926, and they had a failure in their bottling equipment. They had to actually go out and have the piece made. I didn't know we could make a piece of equipment in the United States anymore. I thought we'd have to send it overseas to get it made. But they actually had a machinist, and they sent out the part and got it reduplicated. So now they're back up and running. We're just waiting for the product now.
So you're upset about the travel overseas of our jobs and our industries?
Oh, of course. I mean, the people should be very upset about it. I mean, do we export all of the jobs overseas? And then how are the people here going to afford to buy it? I mean, I think we can do a better job. And we don't need a Bill Gates mentality where, the technology is moving so fast that in 6 months it's obsolete. That's silly. That's absolutely silly. It doesn't meet up with the green part of, let's make it right the first time so we can use it for a few years.
What do you think the best way is for us to turn the economy around?
Well, bring the jobs back here, number one. I mean, I'm sorry, but we ship things overseas. Oh, I know. The refrigeration man was in here, and he spent a lot of work trying to get my refrigeration up and going. We had a problem. And he says, I think we should make cars for export here. He says, all those boats bring cars in, and they're all leaving empty. I think we could work a deal to have all of our cars that are made here exported. And he says, I think it should be a very simple engine. You know, something like what Henry Ford had, where the Model T could run on peanut oil because gasoline was $5 a gallon, and they ran on anything. But I think we should put a little battery backup in it and export them overseas. Now, we wouldn't make any of the green requirements here in this country, but I think we could bring some of that money home. I thought that was a pretty smart. Well, I think we should make a return to the values of the politicians being servants of the people rather than the people being servants of the politicians. I think we should not have primaries anymore. I think we should go right back to the system where the candidates had to stand up in front of everybody and say the same thing to everybody rather than saying it to different people in different parts of the country. And I think they should be able to do that.
Would you like to see people then that are more career politicians, or people that are citizens? They serve their time and then they go back into the private sector.
Well, I remember Cincinnatus did that.
Indeed. A classically educated man, Cincinnatus.
Well, he did it.
Yeah, he did.
He put down his plowshare, defended the country, went back to his plowshare, and that's fine.
Like George Washington.
I will say, I mean, I think Thomas Jefferson was probably the smartest president that ever served in this country. No involvement in foreign wars, kept us out because he knew what was going to happen. All we have is, I mean, we get involved and all it does is set the vitality of the country. And everybody can see, I mean, from my view, this country is a paper tiger. We have to take people out of their jobs to go fight a war and sit over there for 6 months or 18 months at a time and bring them back. That's not what the reserves were for. We need a standing army. And if we have to have a standing army, I mean, we should have the draft back. I mean, you don't even have to serve in the army. The Peace Corps is fine. You know, go out and help another country and get them. We build bridges, we build relationships that way with other countries. And that's the way you make friends. I mean, we can't fight a two-front war. We used to.
I like that idea. So you're saying you turn 18 or you graduate from high school and you go do something good for somebody. Now you'd be in the army, or you could go build a dam in Botswana.
Well, yeah, or help the people.
Yeah, make the Peace Corps a real thing.
Bring one of those cars. I mean, the World Bank sets it up to sell these people tractors, and then they can't fix them. So they break down, and then what happens? Now they're in debt, and they just sits there and rots. I mean, they don't have
that's
tires.
a great idea. I like that idea.
Well, I mean, it's nothing new,
no.
But I think that's something. I think the people in this country, the young people, need service to the country. It really bothers me. It really bothers me that you hear young people, poor people, are forced into the armed services, and then the wealthy people, sons of wealthy people, oh, you don't want to do that. You have to go to college. And so you have one class of people defending the country and the other class running the country, and they don't have to serve. That's a problem. We need service to the country from everybody. And I'll tell you what, it didn't hurt anybody to make $65 a month when I was
Were you in there?
Yeah, I was in the Army.
When'd you go in?
Oh, I was there when the Berlin Wall was going up.
Really?
Up, not down, up.
Where were you stationed?
I was at Fort Ord.
You were?
Yeah. Yeah, I was in the reserves.
Uh-huh.
And they, we were supposed to go to Texas for training, and they just called up the reserves and left us OJT training and shipped all the frontline troops over. I mean, we were reserve troops.
Huh.
But I was, no, I mean, we need service. And I say, and there's something else that goes along with it. A lot of these gangs would be destroyed if these young people would go, because then they would hang with the Army, the Navy, the Marines, all of these people. They would hang together, and they would kick them in the butt and say, this is the way you do it.